Today's lesson is Chapter 10, Lesson 3, Surface Area of Rectangular Prisms. The goal of this lesson and what you should be able to do by the end of this lesson is find the surface area of rectangular prisms. Roberta is wrapping a gift for her sister's quinceanera. She places it in a box with the measurements shown below. So we have 10 inches by 10 inches by 10 inches. Okay, so this is a cube because all the sides are the same. What is the area of one face of the box? So one face, that means one side of the box, okay? So you need to understand that there are different faces when we talk about prisms. We need to find the area of just that box. So I need to take the length times the width, and I'm going to do 10 times 10, which is 100. Okay, how many faces does this box have? Okay, so we said this was a face. So there's a front, and we know there's a back, so that's 2, front and back. Then there's a side right here, and then there's one on the other side, so that's another 2. And then there's a top, and there's a bottom, so that's another 2. So there's 6 faces, okay, and they're all 10 by 10 by 10. Okay, so if they're all the same, it's pretty easy because if there's 100 faces, or 100 for one of the faces, I need to do 100 times 6, and I know that the surface area is 100 inches squared. And it's squared because I'm talking about area. Okay, so the surface area of a prism is the sum of all the areas of its faces. So what we just did on that previous problem is we found the area of a face, we figured out how many faces there were, and then we went from there. So on a rectangle, though, they're not all the same side. So as you can see, this is what a rectangular prism looks like. It has a height, a width, and a length always. We always have those 3 dimensions. But if you unfold it into its net, which we have right here, we know that this yellow one is the top, and then there's always a bottom. So there's 2 of those. And then the blue one is the side. So there's 2 sides, and then the green one is the front, and then there's always a back to it. Okay, so that's what it looks like when it's unfolded, and we can see that there's 2 of each, and that I need to find the area of all of those. Okay, so I need to find the area of that and the area of that. Well, instead of finding the area of each one, I'm just going to find the area of, let's say, the bottom, and then I'm going to take that times 2 and get the total of both of them. So technically, I'm doing 2 times the length, and so I have the length, and then I have like the width. And then I'm doing 2 of the sides, okay, which would be the height and the width. Ignore that little dot there. And then I have to do the front and the back, and that I see is the length and the height, so 2 times the length and the height. Okay, and then I would total all of those together, and I would get my surface area. So it says to find the surface area of the rectangular prism. Okay, so I'm going to kind of color code this, and I'm going to do my green, I'm going to do my blue, and I'm going to do that kind of yellowy color. And this is going to help me keep organized. Okay, so let's do this yellow one first. Okay, so as I see here, if I use a red to help me outline, I have this box. Okay, well, the dimensions aren't right next to it, so I'm going to have to look for this one, which is the same as this length, and that's 15, and then this length is the same as 10. So I know that my yellow box equals 10 times 15, and I'm going to do that twice, times 2. Okay, and I know 10 times 15 is 150, times 2 is 300. Okay, so the yellow ones I've already done. those are 300. Okay, let's do the blue one. So we're going to do our blue one next, and I'll do that in black. So I need to know this, and that's telling me it's 10, and this one is the same thing as over here, which is 10. So I'm doing 10 times 10 2 times. I know 10 times 10 is 100, times 2 equals 200. Okay, so I've done the blue ones are 200 here and 200 here. Okay, what I have left is the green, so I'm going to finish with those. And let's do that in orange. Okay, so I have my green box, and I see this side is 15, this side is 10. So again, 10 times 15, doing that twice, 150 times 2 is 300. So now I've done my green boxes. I've done both of those together. They're 300. Okay, so I've organized it, and now my final step is I need to add them all together. So I need to add 300 plus 200 plus 300. So I'll do that. I know I'm going to fill in with zeros, and then 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 2 is 8. So I have 800, and I'm doing surface area, so I know that that's going to be inches squared is my answer. Okay, for this problem, I need to find the surface area of the rectangular prism. This time they don't draw out that net for us, they just have it in prism form. So I need to visualize that there's a front and a back. So I'm going to do it times 2, the front and the back. So here's the front, and then there's a back one. I'm going to do the side, and then the other side, so times 2. And then I need to do the top and the bottom, times 2. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase those lines so that I can see it a little bit better. So if I'm going to do the top and the bottom, so this was the top and bottom. Okay, I have this rectangle right up here, and I see that the sides are 4 and 3. So 4 times 3 times 2. 4 times 3 is 12, times 2 equals 24. Okay, now I want to do the side, this one. Well, what dimensions do I have? I have this one is 2, and then this top part is still 3. So 2 times 3, and then times that by 2, because there's 2 sides. 2 times 3 is 6, times 2 equals 12. And then the last one I want to do is the front and the back. The front is right here. So what dimension is this? Well, that's the same thing as this, so 4. And then my side isn't going to be 3. I know 3 is close to it, but really my side is this 2. So 4 times 2. And then do 2 of those. 4 times 2 is 8, times 2 equals 16. Okay, so I did my front and my back, my top and the bottom, and both sides. And now I need to total those all up. So 16 plus 12 plus 24. Okay, total those. 4 and 6 is 10, plus 2 is 12. Carry my 1, 2, 2, 5. So 52 meters squared per surface area. All right, these final problems I'm going to have you work in your notebook, and then you will solve them in class. Okay, so notice that this one is a net. They've laid it out for you, so you need to find the area of all the shaded regions and then total them all up. These two, you're going to want to draw out your front and your back, your side, your top and bottom. Okay, so these ones you're going to draw out. All right, good luck, and we'll go over the answers in class.